There were plenty of City of Sheridan projects in 2022, and there are no shortage of projects on tap for the new year. Sheridan Media's Ron Richter has details.
Work will continue into the new year on several ongoing City of Sheridan projects. Sheridan Mayor Rich Bridger provides the details.
We're going to do a lot of more work up at Blacktooth. We're going to put in some bathrooms up there and, again, some storage just so that it's more user-friendly for the people coming up there. We still have our rail crossing information system that we want to put in at 5th Street and Sheridan Avenue so people know when there's a train coming. And then we'll continue to do some work at Gateway Park. Again, the pool's going to be coming up, and we're going to start planning for that as well.
Mayor Bridger says utility projects are also high on the list for early 2023.
North Heights, we're going to do a water main replacement, and that's going to be fairly extensive. And then hopefully, if we are lucky and we can find some funds, we're going to do some rehabilitation out at our water treatment plant. So we have a long list of things, and of course, we'll still do our normal rotomelon overlay and crack seal and all those sort of things that we do every year to keep the city running and in good shape.
A big project that is expected to begin in spring of 2023 is the Wyoming Department of Transportation Sheridan Main Street Rehabilitation Project. The scope of the project will include resurfacing of a little over half a mile of Main Street from 1st Street to Burkett Street. WYDOT will use a 3-block rolling closure system to minimize interruption to businesses. The project is expected to take 2 construction seasons to complete. I'm Ron Richter, Sheridan Media News.
Now that Sheridan Memorial Hospital has been awarded grant money from the State Loan and Investment Board, it's time to put that money to use and get to work on what it's meant to be used for. Recently, the SLIB Board awarded 2 grants to the hospital. One was $5.9 million to develop an emergency psychiatric assessment, treatment, and healing and crisis stabilization unit to serve the Sheridan County region. The other, a $480,000 grant to work on the emergency department triage. Hospital President Mike McCafferty says hospital management won't waste much time getting those projects done because even though the deadline may seem long away, the workload could change that perspective.
The next step that we're going to focus on is the design development for both those projects. Both of those projects we've worked with our architects on conceptual planning, and so we're going to go into design development, which will start to really pin down the specifics of getting into those projects. And those projects have to be completed by the end of 2026.
McCafferty added the hospital had submitted 4 applications to the SLIB Board earlier this year, but only 2 of those were awarded. Sheridan County Chamber of Commerce Government Affairs Committee will host a special pre-legislative session lunch with our Sheridan County local delegation between 11:30 and 1 on Wednesday next week at the Ramada Plaza. Sheridan Media's Floyd Whiting has details.
During an appearance on Sheridan Media's Public Pulse program, Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber, Dixie Johnson, announced the luncheon, as well as a special appearance, which has been arranged.
But this will be an opportunity for anybody who wants to attend to come have lunch with our legislators. We're excited. It is a special event, and it will take place the week prior to our regular Chamber lunch program. Okay, so I just don't want to confuse the two, but it is open to anybody who would like to attend. We've done it in the past in the morning, called it Eggs and Issues, but this year it's going to work better for a lunch. We're going to have a special presentation and visit by some of the We the People teams.
Sheridan High School instructor Mike Thomas and members of the high school's We the People team recently earned the title of state champions of the We the People, the Citizen, and the Constitution for a second year in a row. Legislators in attendance will discuss priorities and issues facing the legislature as they prepare to go to session on January 10th. Time will be provided for questions from the audience. Confirmed to attend at this time are Senator Dave Kinski, Representative Ken Pendergraft, and Representative Cyrus Western. Cost is $20 per person, which includes the program and lunch buffet. Pre-registration is required, and you can register through a link with this story at SheridanMedia.com. And from your Sheridan Media Newsroom, I'm Floyd Whiting.
Flooding aside, there was one good thing that came out of the heavy moisture Wyoming received late last spring. Gave firefighters a break as the state ended up having a below-average fire season. Bill Crasper, the State Forestry Division, says there were about 800 fires reported, and there wasn't one section of Wyoming that had much more than any other. The Black Hills area northeast of Wyoming dried out more than the rest of the state, and the southwestern part of the state ended up being the driest. However, fire activity in those areas ended up being low, and Crasper added that rains came at the right time, and many fire crews were anticipating and preparing for a fire season that was projected to be a lot worse.
We went into the season and all predictions, all of our predictive services said we were going to have a really, really, really heavy, severe season. We didn't have a lot of large fires compared to what we normally would see.
Krasmer says as far as 2023 goes, he anticipates it will be an active fire season due to the drought continuing in some areas of Wyoming. January is a vital month for Sheridan Community Land Trust. While appearing on our Public Pulse program, Executive Director Brad Bauer told listeners donations made during the first month of the year provide critical funding to support the many programs of the organization. And thanks to a generous donor who has chosen to remain anonymous, donations made to the Land Trust through January 15th will be matched dollar for dollar.
This is a big time of year for us. This is where we benefit from the generosity of our communities and help raise the funds that keep the organization going year round. This year end usually is about a quarter of our annual budget we have to try to raise in this time. And so this challenge match, this $40,000, goes a long ways to helping us make that a success.
Well, the $40,000 holiday challenge match will match one-time gifts dollar for dollar. Should donors decide to start a new monthly gift, that will make it double.
You know, if individuals want to make a donation to the Land Trust this time of year, especially with this challenge, it's going to be matched dollar for dollar. And if they decide that they want to do a reoccurring gift or a monthly gift, which is pretty slick, you can set it up through our website, and you can set up just to have it come every month out of your bank account, and you don't even know it's happening. I do that with quite a few organizations that I support. But if you choose to do that, then this foundation is going to match that gift for 2 to 1. So if you give $1, they're going to give $2.
The Land Trust operates many programs in various communities around the county, allowing residents and visitors to explore the region's history, land, and natural resources. To make donations and double the impact through the link, follow the link with this story on our website at SheridanMedia.com. Sheridan Media's Aaron Palmer takes a final look back at the top stories of Johnson County in 2022.
Today we look back at Johnson County's top stories during the last year as we focus on October through December of 2022. The Johnson County School Board, during a meeting in October, praised the recent Right Road program at Buffalo High School and those who organized, volunteered, and participated in the program. The Right Road, formerly known as Freshman Impact, is a program that gives students information and real-life experience to make good decisions concerning drinking and driving, internet predators, addiction, peer pressure, bullying, suicide, and other issues. A ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new Wyoming Veterans Skilled Nursing Facility in Buffalo was held in October, with many local and state dignitaries on hand for the event. The facility was built adjacent to the Veterans Home of Wyoming on a portion of the campus just east of the existing buildings. Speakers at the ceremony included Governor Mark Gordon, Johnson County Commissioner Bill Novotny, and Buffalo Mayor Shane Schrader, among others. The Wyoming Veterans Skilled Nursing Facility took 2 years to complete. Kate Harriet, who won the election for Johnson County Clerk and was scheduled to take the position in January, withdrew from the position in late November due to health issues. Johnson County's commissioners later approved Jackie Camino as the next Johnson County Clerk over 2 other candidates, Darcy Goney and Jody Telkamp. Joshua Q. Waits of Buffalo was found guilty of breach of peace, but not guilty of interference with a peace officer by jury trial in Johnson County Circuit Court in December. Waits was arrested and charged stemming from an incident at a city council meeting on July 5th. The charge of breach of peace carries a penalty of up to 6 months in jail and up to a $750 fine. Judge Shelley A. Cundiff set the sentencing hearing for January 23rd. It was announced at the December Johnson County School Board meeting that District Transportation Director Dennis Zizis would officially retire effective March 6, 2023. And those are the top stories in Johnson County from October through December of 2022. For Sheridan Media News, I'm Aaron Palmer reporting.
The museum at the Bighorns is currently closed for the winter, but will open its doors to the public on March 1st. During an appearance on our Public Pulse program, Executive Director of the museum, Danielle Stuckel, told listeners about the upcoming exhibit that will feature fossils from the Paleolithic era. Along with collections manager Jessica Salzman, Stuckel has been planning and preparing for those incoming fossils.
Some of the fossils are dinosaurs, but some of the fossils are mammals. I've been looking at the exhibit panels that we're working on, but I haven't seen any of the actual objects yet. They're making our way in the next couple weeks. Before March, they'll be here. These are things that we've been working with for years, the kind of work that we've been doing for a long time. So there is a lot of training that you need to have to be able to handle things. This is fragile stuff. A lot of things are really unique. So we spend a lot of time risk management, planning.
Much of the exhibit will be on loan to the Museum of the Bighorns from Sheridan College for the next 2 years. Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon's Mental Health Summit took place October 11th in Casper, encompassing a holistic approach. Governor Gordon, alongside members of the legislative and judiciary branches, discussed the state of mental health in Wyoming during that summit. Gordon said he remains committed to furthering the conversation and working towards solutions that improve behavioral health services in the state.
We know that there is so much more we can do, and it's not just a matter of what we can do in the legislature. It's not just a matter of resources. It's a matter of really joining together as a state and finding the various solutions that each of us individually are and coordinating those.
As a result of that success of the Health Summit, the mental health website has been established where stakeholders and the public can find information on current efforts underway in the governor's office, as well as information about the governor's challenge to prevent suicide among service members, veterans, and their families. The site provides an opportunity to register for educational webinars, find additional resources, and sign up for a monthly newsletter that provides updates on current and future events. For the latest news, weather, sports, photos, streaming video, and audio, join us online at SheridanMedia.com. I'm Trevor Jackson.